umpires are approaching home plate, and when they get there, they will exchange lineup cards and tell you what appears on those lineup cards. Here's Skip Carey.
That's right, Ernie. What appears on the cards are the names of the players who will start today's game. Oh, you'd like me to tell you who they are?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Miguel Delaunay will lead it off in left field for the Expos. UL Washington at second base, bats second. Andre Dawson, the right fielder, hits third. Danny Dreesen at first base, bats cleanup. Hubie Brooks, the shortstop, bats fifth. Tim Wallach at third base hits number 6. Herm Winningham will play center and bat seventh. Mike Fitzgerald will catch. He'll hit 8th, and Bill Gullickson will pitch. He's 3-2 for the year with an earned run average of 4.08. For Atlanta, Claudell Washington leads it off and plays right field. Rafael Ramirez will be at shortstop hitting second. Gerald Perry inserted in the lineup today, batting third at first base. Dale Murphy in center field hits cleanup. Third baseman Bob Horner bats fifth. Terry Harper in left field hitting sixth. Ken Obergfeld moved up in the order to seventh and playing second base. Bruce Benedict will catch and will hit 8th, and Rick Mailer will do the pitching. Mailer has been superb this year. He is 6-0 with a 2.27 earned run average. The big news of the day to this, well, first we'll tell you about the umpires. John McSherry will work the plate. Charlie Williams at first base, Randy Marsh at second, and Billy Williams will call the plays at third. We'll give you the official announcement the Braves have released here on the Perez-Dedmon situation. Right-handed pitcher Pascual Perez has been placed on the supplemental disabled list, the 15-day list, announced because of tendonitis in his right shoulder. The Braves announced that Jeff Dedmon had been recalled from Richmond. Perez is winless in 4 decisions with a 6.48 earned run average. He has made 6 starts, worked 25 innings, allowed 26 hits, and he's issued 19 walks against 13 strikeouts. Dedmon has appeared in 10 games at Richmond. He is 1-1, an earned run average of 1.50, and he has recorded 5 saves. He's pitched 12 innings, allowed 12 hits. He has a knuckle curveball, has struck out 7, walked only 3, and he'll join the Braves during the Atlanta-Richmond exhibition game at Richmond. So it's an unusual situation. A player is called up from the minor leagues, and he can wait where he is for the big league club to come get him, I suppose, unless they try to get him here in time for today's game, and the indications here are that they probably will not, because all this happened just a half hour, perhaps 45 minutes ago. The umpires continue to visit at home plate, and the Braves will shortly be taking the field. The balloons have pretty much floated away from our friends at Coca-Cola. Have you tried? I got to try the new Coke before the game today. It's pretty good.
It is. Well, they never had any bad products, I'll tell you that. Not to be where they are. You know, another thing, Skip, on the Pascual Perez decision, this could open up a starting spot for somebody else. Maybe a Jeff Dedmon gets a starting assignment along the way somewhere. They're working with 4 pitchers right now, but someone's going to have to come in, and it won't be Dedmon as a starter. It'll be a Zane Smith or someone like that will get a chance, I would think.
McMurtry or Zane
or
Smith.
McMurtry.
Yeah, probably one of those 2 guys. Yeah. And Dedmon, I would suppose, will be the guy they will try to call upon to be the
set the table, sort of.
Yeah, Jeff Latty of last year's Cardinals for Bruce Sutter. But then again, as we've said all winter and all spring long, when you're behind 9-2, Bruce Sutter can't, nothing against him, but he can't do you a whole lot of good.
No, do nothing about it. You got to have that lead. And Garber pitched a couple of good innings yesterday, so what the Braves want is they want that lead going into the 8th and 9th so that they can effectively use Bruce Sutter. As you take a look at Nakahoma, he's praying for a win.
Chief is not in mid-season form. He must have had a short night. Now he's getting it going. There we go. And the Braves take the field as the Chief makes his way toward his teepee. Defensively, the Braves show Perry at first, Oberkfell at second, Ramirez at short, Horner at third, with Bruce Benedict behind the plate. On the outfield, from left to right, Harper, Murphy, and Washington. And Mailer will take his warm-up tosses. He has been absolutely sensational. As you know, he's 6-0 for the year. In 43 2/3 innings, he's allowed 38 hits. He has struck out 14, walked 10, has an earned run average of 2.26. 2.7. You see his lifetime mark. And with Dale Murphy getting all the attention, one or two more victories here by Mailer, and Sports Illustrated may have to buy a house here in Atlanta and just camp somebody out to keep talking about Braves personnel.
He got a lot of votes for pitcher of the month. Valenzuela won it with the 41 consecutive innings without giving up an earned run. His record was 2-3, but Fernando really pitched well. But you've got a lot of argument from Mailer too, even though the Braves averaged almost 8 runs per game when Mailer pitched. He allowed the opposition less than 3 runs a game. So with that combination, you're going to win some ball games.
And he's about to complete his warm-up tosses. Tim Raines gets the day off today. He's been struggling with the bat a little bit for Montreal. So Miguel Delaunay, who may be able to run as fast as Raines, will stand in and lead it off. And leading off with the play-by-play story here once again, Ernie Johnson.
Okay, Skip. Delaunay's first appearance in this series. Speedy runner. He has 2 stolen bases, even though he hasn't played much, batting .214, no homers and 2 RBIs. He likes to drag bunt. In fact, when he does, that's bunting up toward first. Looks like he's about 30 feet out of the box before he hits the ball. Of course, he isn't, because that would be illegal. But he has good speed, and they're shortened up at third and at first. And the first pitch almost hit him in a batting helmet. That takes care of the drag bunt for now. 1-0. Washington's on deck. That's UL. Mailer's 36-26 lifetime. Inside corner. We've got other news to pass along to you, some good and some bad, or I should say sad. Pitch is high. 2-1. Atlanta has lost 2 in a row here. At home, they're only 3-8. Benedict getting a chance to catch today. 3 balls and a strike. Montreal club can hit. They come in at .281. It's a high team batting average. They back in there, Delaunay. He's trying to work him for a walk, and John McSherry is saying, not going to help. I just watch the ball. I don't watch your antics. Now the 3-2. Hit toward second. Obert fell. 1 down. So a nice recovery by Rick Mailer. He was behind in the count. Now UL Washington. Well, the sad news is on hearing the death of Bill Kunkel, 48, American League umpire, former pitcher, and he's been battling cancer for about 4 years. In fact, he made several appearances for the American Cancer Society, and he succumbed to cancer. His son is in the Texas Ranger organization. He's a pretty good ball player, and we pass along our sympathies to the Bill Kunkel family. Did he offer at it? They say no. 1-0. The outfield straightaway. Washington's had a good series. He has 4 hits and 10 tries and 4 RBIs. Throwing a double and a triple. And you can see why he's batting .368 for the year. He's going to get a lot of playing time at second and short for Montreal. Drag bunt, fouled away, 1-2. Houston's leading Philadelphia 3-1. They're in the second. There's Bob Rogers, affectionately called Buck. Quite a catcher himself in the major leagues and the American League for several years. Most of them with California. 1-2 pitch. Just missed inside. 2-2. Jose Cruz had a 2-run home run the first inning for Houston today. Very little to report on other games at this point. slow curve to the mound to Gerald Perry. 1-3, 2 outs. Eddie Hotz has made several changes today. Benedict catch, Perry first. Oberkville back at second. He appears that he's going to use Obi against right-handed pitching. Andre Dawson, 3 for 9 in the series. Little weak on singles. Is a double, triple, and a homer and 4 RBIs. After a slow start, he's picking up 16 RBIs now. Inside. Bryn Smith pitched to beauty last night. He's done that several times against the Braves. He needed help from Reardon, but he won his 4th. Here's a 2-0. Hit foul over by their dugout. Right into it. Look out, guys. Don't get hurt. Really, that's the only time I've ever seen a ball player afraid of a ball. When it comes in the dugout. 2-1. Sidearm curve just missed. Dangerous spot right here. But he handled it. Corner. That's a 1-2-3 for Rick Miller. They fail to score top the first. Atlanta coming to bat. People come from near and far. People plan their vacation sometimes in Atlanta to see the Braves because they watched them on a cable. Bill Gullickson taking his final tosses. Defensively, you saw how Montreal lined up. Gullickson was born in Minnesota, lives now in Illinois. He's shooting for his 4th win. Unlike the Braves, most of the wins by Montreal they've come from the starting pitching. Mailer is the only starter who has won for Atlanta. Claudell Washington leads it off. Gullickson's a big guy. 6'3" and 220, and he's got to be an inspiration to anyone who has diabetes because he is a diabetic. And here pitching in the major leagues and doing a good job. 12 and 9 last year. Curveball low and away. Washington 3 for 9 in the series. Gullickson with a very nice award, a 3-time nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award given annually to a major league player who best exemplifies the off-field community spirit of the late Pirate Hall of Famer. Bill does a lot of work with diabetics. 2-1. Little high, 3-1. John McHale's here, president of the Montreal Expos. Wife Patty, I'm sure, is looking in West Palm. And the 3-1. Along the line, slicing, but it's going to be caught by Delaunay. Washington hit it quite well, but they had him played perfectly. They fan out on Washington sometimes and give him the alleys. Here's Rafael Ramirez, who's hit safely in 15 of his last 17. 3 for 9 in the series. A double and an RBI. Perry's on deck. Popped up right side. Does Dreesen have room? No, it's right atop the dugout. And a nice play by a lucky fish.
You know what I wish they'd bring back? That promotion, that honorary Braves contract when you catch a fly, fan catches a foul ball.
Go to aisle 119 and pick up your honorary contract. I know there's another one you like too, date night. That was always a big favorite of yours. This one might stay in for Dreesen. And it will. 2 down. Yeah, date night one night, I think, drew 27 people. They sat right below us.
You're right. Drew 37 people.
37.
35 of them were guys, so it didn't work out quite the way we had. But nobody has ever really done the proper planning.
No.
If you got one of the local discos to back the thing and reserve a section, sell even numbered tickets to guys and odd numbered tickets to girls, or vice versa.
Perry takes high.
I mean, the thing could just take off and fly.
Here's a 1-0. You could MC it. You could have a little program down there.
Yeah, we could do that and do it in the picnic area.
Yeah.
You know, have a where everybody can mingle around and pair off.
It's starting to catch on already. I'm getting excited. 2-0. That is over third. Going to be at least one. Perry runs well. He just keeps on trucking. The ball gets away. Perry's got a double, and it will be a double. Gerald Perry hit one right over the bag to bring on Dale Murphy.
They've been working with him, trying to get him to get his hands up a little bit, and maybe it's paid off. He hit that ball viciously the other way.
Murphy's been held in check in this series, 2 for 8. No homers or RBIs. He's got a chance for an RBI here with 2 outs. Hits it foul, out of play. Gullickson will challenge you with his fastball and his curve.
But anyway, some enterprising nightclub owners should get to work on that date night project. And
the switchboard will probably light up this afternoon. Here's an 0-1. Off Wallach. Bad throw. The run will score. Murphy to second. The ball in the dugout. Jim Wallach. It was a hot smash. If he had it to do over, he may have just held on to it. But the Braves lead it 1-0. It'll be an error.
the ball is hit hard. Wallach does a good job to knock it down. Now he's off balance. You can see him fall as he throws the ball. A good throw, and he's got him by a step and a half, and the inning is over.
1-0 Atlanta. Bob Horner, the batter. Going to go error all the way. Shade inside. Horner 3 for 7 in the series. Gullickson with a 1-0. Just outside. Just one closing thought on date night. I can recall that Billy Klaus and Mo Letourneau and guys like that even sent their pictures in. Billy Klaus, a former ball player from Florida, saying, here's our photo, and we'd like to be a part of date night. We don't really need a photo, but they sent it anyway.
Well, if they want us to do the matchmaking, why, for a nominal fee to TBS, we could probably be. Although my luck in that area has not always been so good.
No. Murphy's at second base. Horner with a count of 2 balls and a strike. And a pitch. I believe he held off. They asked for help, and Charlie Williams at first says he didn't go. It's 3-1. They've got a base open. 2 outs. He probably doesn't really care if he gets it over or not. Now the 3-1. Foul away. The old get the ball over, don't give them anything good to hit, and don't walk them. Boy, that can confuse you coming from the manager in a meeting on the mound. He's got it 3-2 now. Got a nice crowd. We had 35,000 last night. This is larger than Friday night when there were about 14,000. I'd say we have 25,000.
26,888.
Okay. 3-2. Little bit high, ball 4. First and second for Terry Harper. Harper's had a good series, 3 for 9. He's hit safely in 7 of his last 8. Knocked in a couple of runs last night. Oberkfell comes to the on-deck circle. The ball Murphy hit was not an easy chance. In fact, Murphy doesn't hit many soft rollers to third. When he gets a hold of it, third baseman's got to buckle down. First and second, Horner and Murphy. 1-0. Base hit left. Murphy hits third. He will score easily. The throw comes toward third. Runners hold. First and second. Terry Harper comes through with a solid shot to left. Two nothing.
That's 8 RBIs in 34 at bats for that young man. He's about to win himself an everyday job, it would appear.
And Eddie Haas likes to see him get base hits off right-handed pitching, because Terry in the past has had pretty good success against lefties, but right-handers with a curve away is getting them to problems. Here's Oberkfell. Strike. 0-1.
Boy, it'd be great when Pittsburgh comes to town. We can promote it as Terry and the Pirates.
Fair. It's fair.
If that.
They're not all winners, though, are they? Oberkfell fouls it past Bobby Dews, coaching at first. Bobby Wine has the duty at third.
But to get back to blind date night, now that you got that thing straight.
Please.
I mean, girls like on our crew, like Ann Keith and Stephanie Bradley, we're really looking forward to an opportunity to meet eligible young men like that.
Why did I ever mention date night? And in the first inning,
it's your fault.
In a close game, just off the corner.
You mean it's not 9-2?
Today it'll be 9-2 the other way.
Okay.
Mailer in the past has had that run calendar. We'll see how it works out today. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Popped him up. UL Washington. That'll do it, but Atlanta picked up 2. We go to the second. Braves 2, Expos nothing. Second inning. Other news around the major leagues. Padres president Ballard Smith announced that Alan Wiggins will not play the rest of the year for the Padres. He's in a drug rehab center. And Pete Rose got a single yesterday. He's now within 77 of breaking Ty Cobb's record. Mailer's pitch a little bit high. A let-up evens the count. Slow curve missing.
Think it could take him as long as till September 18th to catch him?
Do we play him then?
Here in Atlanta.
2 balls and 2 strikes. You know, there was a fan that called Cincinnati, and this is a true story.
Yeah.
And said, I'd like 4 tickets to that day that Rose breaks a record. They tried to explain it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Just missed inside. Mailer won his first game last year on May 19th, and here we're at May 5th. He's trying to be 7-0. That's well hit. The ballpark will not hold it. Off the football bleachers, and Dan Dreesen, who hit one last night in his first turn at bat in the same spot. The Braves went 1-2-3 to Pasquale in the first. Dreesen led off the second and hit those football bleachers last night, and he does it again here this afternoon. 2-1, his 4th home run.
We're wearing him down, though. He didn't hit this one quite as far. Your basic hanging curveball just above the belt.
Now Hubie Brooks. Fastball over. Brooks 2 for 9 in the series. He's up there in RBIs with 17. Toward Horner. He gets a nice bounce and throws him out. One away for Tim Wallach. I think the surprise on Montreal's ball club has got to be Mike Fitzgerald. He's knocked in 10 runs, and season's young. Everyone questioned that move of trading Carter to the New York Mets. So far it's worked out very well. They got Hubie Brooks too, and Winningham.
And also Andre Dawson is playing like Andre Dawson. He didn't play like that last year because of physical problems.
They got a couple of pitchers, Gary Lucas and Charlie Lee, on the disabled list, and when they get healthy, Montreal could have a good summer. Those fans up there deserve it. Toward right field, going to be in for a base hit. It looked like Claudel had doubts about it from the start. It held up, but then when he started fast, it was too late.
He thinks about diving, then changes his mind, and it's fortunate the ball didn't get by him.
Benedict out to talk to Mailer. Winningham, the batter. 2 for 7 in the series. They want this young man to be their center fielder, but he's batting only .229. Outfield positions are RBI positions unless you've got so many good hitters that you can let a fella out there play who doesn't knock many in, but he's a good defensive player. Scores a lot of runs.
They got a guy not playing at all that I wish we had, Terry Francona.
They want to send Steve Rogers over as a starting pitcher. I mean, there'd be no squawk.
Okay, so we get Francona and Rogers.
And who do we give up? That's the tough part.
The rights to Patrick Ewing. No, that wouldn't work.
Wallach did steal 1 base in this series. Last night, Wallach had a 13-game hitting streak snap. He's at first base, but he did walk twice. One and two. Young hitters like Winningham, when they see Mailer for the first time, that slow curve sometimes baffles them. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It's a 2-1 game, Atlanta. Ron Hansen coaches at first, and Russ Nixon is their third base coach. They've got rain at the Windy City. San Diego playing the Cubs at Wrigley. It's a rain delay. Now the 1-2. Bouncer towards second. Bobble. I don't think he can get one. Oberkfell booted the ball. Chance for a double play, and they got nothing. Because as soon as he bobbled it, Winningham, who runs well, makes first.
There have been more balls kicked around at second base the last 2 days than I can remember. It's short Hopkins. It'll be a boot.
The errors are even, the hits are even. Here's the fellow we were talking about, Mike Fitzgerald. Had a great series, 4 for 7 and 4 RBIs. He's got some ducks out there right now with 1 out. Strike. The Dynasty team is in 3rd place in the American League East. That's the Tigers. They're losing again tonight. Or I should say this afternoon. Curve outside. Chicago 3, Detroit nothing after 3. Kansas City nothing, New York nothing after 2. Yankees have played well since getting back home. I believe Necro's pitching that game today.
He is.
Going for his 4th against Black. Slow curve, low. Baltimore leads the American League East. That's a tough division. Probably the toughest in baseball. They're 14-8. Toronto's percentage points behind, 15-9. Then Detroit. Runners first and second. Wallach is at second. Winningham is at first. 1 out. They're looking for a double play. Catchers don't run well. 3-1. Boy, what a day this is in Atlanta. Wish you could all be here. Just absolutely gorgeous. Temperature about 70. 3-1. It's slowly foul up by 3rd. Now we've got that possible running situation. 3-2, 1 out. It's almost like 3-2 and 2 out anymore. See some of the crowd picking up a little sun and hoping for a better game from Atlanta than Friday and Saturday. And so far, the Braves are leading 2-1. Atlanta's ahead in attendance over last year. They've averaged over 20,000 a game. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Will they go? I bet yes. They are going. Pitch is fouled away. Braves have averaged just a shade under 23,000 per game.
And the Expos just about 13,000 a game. They have been disappointed with their box office showing.
They caught a little flack on that Carter trade, but they continue to play good baseball, and they'll turn out. 3-2, they go again. Ball 4. The let-up is outside. The bases are loaded for the pitcher, Bill Gullickson. The announcement on Gullickson. He's batting .222. They're looking for 2 again. I believe he went. They say yes. They had to ask the first base ump.
Well, you be the judge. Yeah, he went around.
Delaunay is on deck. A run in on a homer. 0-1 on Gullickson, and here it is. Fly ball, short left. Ramirez back should catch it, and he does. There'll be no tag. Boy, Raffy had a problem with that sun. He got the glasses down, but you could still see he was fighting it. He's looking up once again. Sometimes the glasses are just a little bit of help.
Yeah, he was in trouble all the way on that ball. Made a good play.
Many times on fly balls in the sun, the outfielder will put his glove up right against the sun, so to speak, and then play the ball off the side. But even though they have sunglasses, there have been balls lost in the sun. Now Delaunay with the bases loaded, but 2 outs. He grounded out first time. He's up on the bat about 6 inches. He can hit it with either end. 1-0.
Basketball, Ernie. Boston 87, Detroit 80 early in the 4th quarter of their 4th playoff game this afternoon.
Now the 1-0. Wide to first. Perry. Nice play. Gerald Perry covered a lot of ground, and he got it to Ramirez for the 4th. A beautiful play by Gerald Perry. He ranges far to his right. Going out, we'll take another look. Almost hit the runner. Look where Perry is. He's almost to second base. A run in. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. 2-1 Atlanta.
5. Rick Barry, Bill Russell will have the play-by-play story for you right here on WTBS.
Bruce Benedict leads off the bottom of the 2nd. Montreal is the leader in wins in the National League. They're in 2nd place by percentage points in the National League East. They've won 15 and lost 8. The Cubs lead division 14-7. Then it's New York 13-8. The Western Division, San Diego, the Dodgers virtually tied. San Diego up by 3 percentage points. They're 12-10. The Dodgers 13-11. Not an awful lot of difference. Cincinnati 11-12, a game and a half out, as is Houston. Then it's the Braves and the Giants. The Braves are only 2 out of first. So one big bunch in the National League West, where a winning streak could put you right in first place. The 0-1. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Linda and Bobby Thurman want to wish their Uncle Lee a speedy recovery. He's watching down in Albany.
That is toward right center. Base hit for Bruce. Benedict singles to right center. The Bruce reigns up. We haven't heard that very often. Not this year. Here's Mailer. Not a bad hitter. Our Director of Public Relations, Wayne Minshew's father-in-law, Link Johnson, is ill, hospitalized Mount Dora, Florida, and we hope that he has a pleasant day. And the bunt is in order, and it's high and away. 1-0. We come to you Tuesday night from Shea Stadium in New York, Tuesday and Wednesday, then Montreal next Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're looking for the bunt, and he misses again. 2-0 as Dreesen and Wallach charge. Sam Newford and the guys got this field in good shape, don't you think? I believe it's as in good a shape as we've seen it in a long time. That's bunted, and that is a good bunt. Sacrifice work. 3-4 as Washington takes the throw from Dreesen, and the Braves with a runner at second base, only 1 out.
Does a good job of deadening that ball.
Now Claudel, who's lined to left, 0 for 1. He hit it well. That's in the same spot, and the same guy catches it. So 2 line drives by Claudel to the off field, and he's 0 for 2. Now it takes a 2-out hit from Rafael Ramirez. On 1. Perry would be next. Right under the chinny chin chin. Benedict's at second base. He single, moved down to second on a perfect sacrifice. And a 1-1. He laid off the breaking ball. 2-1. Dodgers failed to score at top of the first. Pirates now batting. Houston 3, Philadelphia 2, fifth inning. New York and Cincinnati scoreless in the second. Raining in Chicago. Nothing to report on the Giants at St. Louis. And the 2-1. High 3-1. Braves lead it 2-1. Now the 3-1. Toward third and by third. A run will score. Ramirez to second. That'll be a double. Wallach sprawling to his right. Seemed to be over the ball, but it got under his glove. It's 3-1. A big hit by Rafael. It comes with 2 out.
It looked like he was going to knock this ball down, but it actually, I think he extended the glove too far, and it went between the glove and his armpit.
So Ramirez now 1 for 2. Double RBI. Gerald Perry had a double first time up. Curveball in there. Oh, what a cut. 0-2. Now a 3-1 game, Atlanta. They try to salvage 1 out of the weekend series. Gonna go foul. You could see Fitzgerald wait for it, because even though it's bouncing out there foul, if it hits something and bounces back over the line, it's fair. 0-2. It can even be hit down on the ground, foul behind home plate, and the same story applies. If it gets out there in fair territory, it's a fair ball. He couldn't get out of the way. 0-2. Ramirez at second base. Fly ball left. Delaunay out number 3, but Atlanta picks up another run on a clutch hit by Rafael Ramirez. Benedict single to start it. We go to the third. 3-1 Atlanta.
Publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves and the Turner Broadcasting System is absolutely, positively, and definitely prohibited.
B. And the pitch. Base hit left. That is UL Washington. He's filled this place with base hits over the weekend. That's his 5th. And now Andre Dawson. This is Rockdale County Community Day, and we hope all the fine folks from over there enjoy themselves. 56 teams from the Rockdale Youth Baseball and Girls Softball Association are in attendance. Great day to be at the ballpark. Here's Dawson. He represents the tying run. Mailer gave up a home run to Dreesen in the 2nd. Washington has a couple of stolen bases. This might be 2. 1 at second. 2 at first. Horner to Oberkfell. Over to Perry. It was sharply hit. Tailor-made double play.
Oberkfell has to take a little punishment here. UL Washington has great running speed, and he's right on top of him. And he gets taken out, but not until he had gotten the throw to first.
Now Dan Dreesen, who has 2 home runs in his last 2 games. The Braves haven't stolen many bases. They've stolen 8. Montreal has stolen 25. One and 0. That's even. I think he went. He did. Low curveball, 1 and 2. Big John McSherry calling the balls and strikes. And the 1-2. Slow curve. Slow curve. You can hear the reaction of the fans. It just missed. Two. Over third. It's going to be at least a double. Dan Dreesen's wearing out Braves pitching. He's got 2. He's 2 for 2. Here's Hubie Brooks. Mailer's struggling. He's allowed 4 hits, including a homer. But if he can get this guy, he's out of the inning. The double play helped him. There have been 2 hits in this inning. And they weren't chintzy. Benedict on a nice play. Yankees got a run. They lead Kansas City 1-0. They're going for their 3rd in a row over Kansas City. Now the 1-0. Popped him foul. Horner, Ramirez can't catch up. Down toward their bullpen. Good effort by both the Braves shortstop and third baseman.
Toughest play in baseball to me, running with your back to the infield, looking up over your shoulder. No chance.
Pretty distracting down there, too.
That may have entered into it.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Broken bat right to the bat. He hit him about an inch off the thumb. That bat is ready for the fireplace. A soft liner right to Mailer. That's it for Montreal. We go to the bottom of the third. Atlanta leading by a couple. Eastern will be there for 2 games. Dale Murphy leads it off, bottom of the third, and here is Skip.
Okay, Ernie, thank you. Dale reached on an air, later scored back in the first inning. With 4:40 left in that NBA game, Boston leads Detroit 96-94. Gullickson to Murph. Check swing, foul back, 0-1. The hits are even at 4, but where it counts, Atlanta enjoys a 3-1 lead. Took something off the curveball. Murphy out in front, 0-2. The Valdosta YMCA T-Bat Cubs are here. Rooting for the Braves this afternoon. Murph just did stay alive as he chased the pitch low and away. Bill Gullickson are ready to offer another 0-2. Curveball is outside, a ball and 2 strikes. In case you joined us late today, the Braves have placed Pascual Perez on the supplemental 15-day disabled list and recalled Jeff Dedman from Richmond. The 1-2. Bounced the curveball up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perez's problem is said to be tendonitis in his right shoulder. And the 2-2 pitch. Pop foul back this way. If Ernie had his net, he would have had a chance for it, but would have missed it.
I don't know.
I do. Count stays 2-2. High breaking ball, and he's worked it full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The payoff pitch to Murph. He's aboard to start the third. Gullickson has struggled throughout this game. That's his second walk. He has yet to strike out a batter. And here's Bob Horner, who drew a pass in the first. Pirates 1-0 over the Dodgers after 1. Houston 4-2 over the Phils after 5. The Mets laid the Reds 1-0 after 3. Giants 2-0 over the Cardinals after 2. It's raining in Chicago, where the Padres hope to play. Strike. A slider. It's 0-1. And after the game today, we got wrestling, right? 5:05. Took something off the curveball, got that in there, though Horner didn't think so. It's 0-2. American League, the White Sox lead the Tigers 3-1 after 5. Yankees and Necro lead Kansas City 1-0 after 3. The 0-2 to Horner. Bouncing ball might be a double play. 5, 4, 3. They get the DP. So that takes care of that. 2 quick outs in the third inning.
This is the pitcher's friend. Wallach starts it.
You know, we mentioned before that Oberkfell got taken out on that double play that he turned on at second base. Well, he must have come up hurting, because Glenn Hubbard has grabbed a bat and moved on deck for Atlanta. And Wood pinch hit for Oberkfell here. Good off-speed curve for a strike. 0-1. So we will endeavor to find out what has befallen Ken Obergefell. Started to go. Did he go around? Yes. Harper drove in a run with a base hit his first time. Look out. Fastball up and in got Harper, and I don't know but what he's not more than a little upset about that with an 0-2 count. But he says nothing and trots down to first. Gullickson has that reputation. He'll knock you off the plate.
With the 0-2, you got to wonder. You know he's trying to brush him back. I believe it hit him in the left shoulder. Very close. Hit him down in the back, close to that decal that says 20th year in Atlanta. Here's Hubbard.
Up batting for the first time in the game. He takes over for Ken Obergefell. Runner at first, 2 out. Curve low and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
I don't think Gullickson was deliberately trying to hit anybody. He's trailing 3-1, but it's the old no balls, 2 strikes. You try to get the fastball up and in. If you have a good curveball and the hitter has problems with curve, your next pitch is the curve low and away, and try to set him up that way, but he just missed.
2-0 the count.
Some pitchers do make sure that when they say they're going inside, they're going to be in there, brother. And if they hit you, well, that's part of the game.
He had a good cut there, fouled it off. We are told that Obi hurt the heel of his right hand, probably when he hit the deck after completing that double play, but we don't know the severity of the injury yet. We will find out and get the information to you as soon as we can.
A hand injury last year, too, at the end of the season. It kept him out. Broke a bone diving for a ball.
2-1 the count. Harper at first, 2 out. Minnesota winning again, 2-1 over Baltimore after 3. Oh, he's getting some swings. 2-2. Braves idle tomorrow, Tuesday in New York, 7:35 here on TBS. Same is true on Wednesday evening. It's full now, 3-2, and Harper can take off from first with 2 out. That's out of play and into the seats. And we'll do the 3-2 all over again. Popped up. This one is playable. Who wants it? Danny Dreesen in fair territory, and the inning is over. So nothing doing in the third for Atlanta. No hits, no runs, no errors, a runner left. At the end of 3, the Braves lead the Expos 3-1. Ken Obergefell got hurt. UL Washington made a clean play, did what he's supposed to do. But right there, when he landed on that right hand, he injured it. And again, we do not know the severity of that injury. We go to the 4th inning, and Tim Wallach leads it off. And fouls the fastball off. It's 0-1. Atlanta leading at 3-1. Curve. He missed a double by a foot or so. 0-2. It will be Wallach, Winningham, and Fitzgerald here in the 4th inning for the Expos. Fly ball, center field. Murphy drifts back, plenty of room. 1 out. Here's Herm Winningham. Some of you will be delighted to know that they're attempting to get the wave started here at the ballpark once again. Winningham reached on an air his first time. Now they've got it going. The wave is in progress. Yippee. A little bit high. 1 ball, no strike. It's even now, 1-1. One out, nobody aboard in the top of the 4th. The 2-1 pitch. Swung and missed. Count evens 2-2. You joined the wave that last time around.
Why not try it once?
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah,
no.
A lot of fun.
I can make it up for the anthem, but that's about it. 3-2 the count to Winningham. Here it comes. Attaboy, Aaron. You certainly look excited. The 3-2. Foul tip.
3-1 game. Wave doesn't do too much for me when you're 9-2 down for some reason.
It doesn't do much for me under any circumstance. The payoff pitch, here it is. Fouled it off again. Stays 3-2. We're in the top of the 4th already. Braves on top, 3-1. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. Naylor deals again. Hot shot, base hit right field. So Winningham is aboard with 1 out. And Mike Fitzgerald is the batter. He walked his first time. Mailer's struggling a little bit this afternoon, too. That is the 5th safety registered by the Expos.
Tuesday night, Steve Bedrosian goes for his first win. He'll be opposed by Darling. And on Wednesday, Len Barker against Ed Lynch.
So we missed Dwight Gooden our first trip to the Apple.
Does not hurt our feelings one bit. Although the TV audience, I'm sure, would like to see him pitch.
especially the folks, his friends and family down in the Tampa area.
Of course, the Mets use that bird too.
Yeah, but they're Southerners. They much rather listen to us.
Y'all.
Yeah. Well, Detroit's going to beat Boston in that NBA game that has taken about 45 minutes for the last 3 seconds to be played. And that'll even that series at 2 games each, and that means the WTBS will have game 6 for you Friday night from Detroit at, we think, 8:05. I think that's what that means. Pretty close play, but he got back.
He's always a threat, Winningham.
There he goes. High and tight. Bruce's throw is perfect. He's out from here to Smyrna.
Well, Benedict's been practicing his throws the second he was out here the other day. And he is getting rid of the ball so quickly. Now you got to realize Winningham can run. The ball is waiting for him. It's usually a lot closer than that, even if you get him. So Benedict's quick snap throw. Winningham out.
The count goes 1 ball, no strikes on Fitzgerald. A ball and a strike, the count. Just missed with a breaking ball. It's 2-1. Ernie Johnson, Skip Carey with you from Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Fouled it off his body. Still raining in Chicago, where the Padres were scheduled to play. The Dodgers have tied the Pirates 1-1 after 2. Slow curve, a beauty. Fitzgerald called out on strikes, and the inning is over. Rick records his first strikeout of the game. 1 hit, no runs, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Braves lead it 3-1. Our associate director today, one of Atlanta's most eligible bachelorettes, Ann Keith. 2-for-1 sale on sunglasses those ladies enjoyed. And Eggs Benedict leads off the bottom of the 4th. He singled to right center his first time. One ball, no strikes. Have we ever gotten any more word on Obi?
No.
Fastball drilled into left, but not enough. Delaney is there, 1 out. Here's Rick Mailer, who sacrificed his first time. Tom Smith, our director this afternoon. Michael Ulysses Price, our producer. Yankees 4-1 over Kansas City in the 5th behind Phil Niekro. Ricky Henderson and Don Mattingly had back-to-back home runs. He smoked him. Gullickson.
Yankees are going for their 4th in a row for Billy Martin.
Still 1-2. What I read about Martin said he was going to really be a disciplinarian, crack down on the players.
Yeah.
And Ricky Henderson hadn't been playing because of a bad ankle, and he and Martin are in the same bar, and Ricky's out discoing. Really crack down on him.
Good start.
Right back where it came from. 2 out. Gullickson appears to be settling down. Here's Claudell Washington, who's hit the ball hard twice this afternoon, but has nothing to show for it. Getting back to blind date now.
Must we?
Well, it's 2 out, nobody on. We should get all the single umpires to work, or at least 4 of them to work that series, because blind date and they can't see anyways.
If there are any.
Yeah. Oh, there are. Get the single players from both teams involved. I'm telling you, it could be a bonanza.
Pete, a north side barkeep would probably handle the whole thing.
With a little help from Rona Hudspeth.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we may be onto a gold mine. And then again,
could leave this business and do it in every ballpark.
That's right.
Yeah.
The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out with a good curveball, and Gullickson is settling down to business here. Nothing doing in the 4th. 1, 2, 3, and at the end of 4 complete, your score: Atlanta 3, Montreal 1. Frank. Rafi, go. There's what's called a Sunday hop. 1 away. The Thompson and Prather families having a big family reunion up in Good Hope, Georgia this afternoon. Looking in. That's my wife's family. Boy, can those country folks cook and bring some of that stuff home.
They're famous for family reunions. They come from near and far. Sometimes every 5th year and every 10th year.
Well, this is every year.
Every year?
Their family does it, yeah. Delaney is hitless in 2 at-bats and looks at the off-speed pitch for a strike. He is hitting .200. He's driven in 2 runs on the year. I don't know. It looked like he started to bunt and then changed his mind and tried to swing, and whatever happened, he's 0-2.
So we talked about before that he will try that. He'll fake the bunt and then start running and swing on the way, and we've seen him get base hits in that manner because the people are charging and he hits it by him.
Curve, bounced foul, past first. Ron Hansen makes the play.
You know, we've been here about the same number of years, you know, the 2 of us. And I don't think I appreciated food as much, really. Not trying to talk about the chubby guy or anything. I didn't appreciate food as much as till I came down here.
They can do it.
Boy, I'm telling you, that Southern cooking, that is no myth.
Tough play for Horner. Can he throw out the speedy Delaney? Yes. 2 down.
Captain makes a nice play. He had to go to his left and get a fast runner.
Ken Oberkfell has been taken, I guess my guess would be, to Piedmont Hospital for x-rays of his heel of his right hand. to determine if there is a broken bone or not. If there is, that would be tough, very tough for him and for the Braves. We should have a report, I would think, before we leave the air this afternoon. Popped him up. Maybe trouble, though, battling the sun. Ramirez called off by Murph. And the inning is over. Nothing doing in the fifth for the Expos. Pete Van Wieren, John Sterling will join you now after 4.5. The Braves lead it 3-1.
Hits, 1 error, and the Braves 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Wherever you are across the country on the Superstation, I wish you health and happiness, and I also wish you the kind of weather we have in Atlanta. Some very nice looking people here at the old ballpark today. Well, Rafael Ramirez leads off the bottom of the fifth, and Bill Gullickson's first pitch. The breaking ball outside, ball 1. John Sterling and Pete Van Wieren with you now from the ballpark. Rafi bounces it foul. And the count 1-1. Today, Ramirez has doubled in 2 trips and has an RBI. It'll be Rafi, Gerald Perry, and Dale Murphy here in the bottom of the fifth. Hubie Brooks at short. And there's 1 away. Well, that's the only question about that deal. Could Hubie Brooks play shortstop? And thus far, he's had only 2 errors, and he's really made all the plays at shortstop. Montreal very happy with the deal and very happy with Hubie Brooks. Now 1 away. Here's Gerald Perry. Perry doubled to left his first time, then fly to left field. 1 for 2. And takes a pitch outside, ball 1. The Murph is on deck. Braves lead at 3-1 behind Rick Mailer, but that's no surprise. What a daffy beginning of a season for the Braves. Perry misses a pitch at his eyes. Strike 1. If Mailer wins today, and he's got a long way before he gets the win, he would be 7-0. No other Braves starting pitcher has won a game. I don't know which is more odd. Perry takes a strike, 1-2. Mailer could have 7 wins by May 5th. That is absolutely phenomenal. 7 wins in 23 games. What's also phenomenal, the Braves are just 2 games out without another starting pitcher winning a game. That's incredible. Boy, what a great TV show that would make. There's a ground ball wide at third. High hop for Brooks, and his throw is not in time. Goes down the line. It'll be an error on Brooks, and Perry will take second base. So it'll be an infield single. It should be an infield single and an error on the shortstop, Hubie Brooks.
Brooks shows he has good range when he gets to this ball. That ball was deep in the hole. He's got a good arm, but he was unable to get it over there in time, and he threw kind of a one-hopper that skidded past Dan Dreesen. So that'll go as an infield hit for Gerald Perry. And a throwing error on Hubie Brooks. And by the way, we have had a scoring change for those of you who do keep score. In the first inning, they have now given Dale Murphy an infield single, followed by the throwing error by Tim Wallach. So give the Braves 3 hits in that first inning, and one thing that does, that makes both of those first inning runs earned runs.
You know, at the time, Pete, I really thought he hit it so hard that really could have been a base hit. I'm glad they changed that scoring.
Tim Burke, a rookie right-hander, up in the Montreal bullpen.
All right, here's Murph. He singled and walked and grounds this one wide outside of third, and the bat goes past the mound. That happens a lot to Dale. So if you are scoring, give Murphy a single to third, and goes to second base on the error to the third baseman Wallach, and that means he also would get an RBI. Is that right? He gets
No,
an
no RBI.
Oh, they're going to call Perry going to third.
Right.
I see. No RBI, just a base hit for Murph.
And that gives Murph a 9-game hitting streak.
And that's the least of the things he's done this year, too. The Braves are in 5th place, 2 games out, record of 10-12, and they have had performances really from just 3 people this year. That may be over exaggerating a bit, but Really outstanding performances from Murphy, Bruce Sutter, and of course Rick Mahler. Ramirez has played very well, I think. So has Claudel. The pitch. Curveball is up high. And the count 1-1. Rafi has played shortstop, the best he has played. Claudel has had a pretty good start. That's line to left off the end of the bat, and Delaney will make the catch. They're 2-away with Perry remaining at second base. Here's Bob Horner. Horns has walked, and then he grounded into a double play. The captain hitting at 207. He's always been a slow starter. He just has to be healthy because he is now swinging the bat the way he can swing it. Hit a lot of line drives the past couple of days. He just has to keep playing every day. There's the breaking ball outside, ball 1. Both Negros are pitching today in the major leagues and both winning. Joe 4-3 at the end of 7 in Philadelphia. And Phil pitching at home at Yankee Stadium, leading Kansas City 4-1 and 5. The 1-0. 2-0. Terry Harper on deck. In the first inning, Bob Horner came up with Murphy at second after that infield single and throwing error. They kind of pitched around Horner and walked him, which you could understand. And then Terry Harper lined a single to left for the Braves' second run. The 2-0. Line foul. Horner just out ahead of a change. It looked like a change, maybe a change curve, and he went down, got it, and really smacked it, but he was just out ahead. Gerald Perry at second base. He runs very well. Braves looking for more. They lead it 3-1, trying to snap the 2-game losing streak. Braves hit the road after today, a very, very short homestand. And we'll come at you from New York on Tuesday night from Shea Stadium. The pitch. There's a curveball on the outside, 2-2. Gullickson, a very good fastball, a very good slider, and every now and then he breaks off a big curve. It's low inside, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Horner. Perry at second base with 2 out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Now the payoff. It's up high. They walk Horner again. That is walk number 3 given up by Gullickson. And they're first and second now with 2 out. And here's Terry Harper. Look at right-handed Tim Burke, a rookie right-hander warming up in the Montreal bullpen. Terry Harper has been up only 34 times this year. He has 9 hits. And he also has 8 RBIs, so he's really made his hits count.
That RBI total second on the club to Dale Murphy.
That is something, isn't it? The pitch is a strike. The throw, they got, oh no, Horner got in. I'll tell you what,
boy.
Fitzgerald's throw had him beaten. That's with a naked eye now. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. Let's look at it.
On the replay, let's see what it says. Well, Dreesen a little bit late getting the glove to the left arm of Bob Horner there. He might have gotten the right hand on the bag before Dreesen touched the left arm with the glove, but it was awfully close.
He might have. Then again. The 0-1 to Terry Harper. Line down the left field line. Delaney over and plays it off the wall. A run is in. Horner hits third. He's being waved in. Horner will score. Here's the relay throw. No relay throw. A 2-run double for Terry Harper. Walk Bob Horner, will they? They've done it twice, and Harper has burned them twice, and the Braves lead it 5-1. And Buck Rogers has called for Tim Burke.
RBIs number 9 and 10 of the season for Terry Harper. This is where he's been getting all his hits, with men in scoring position, his second double of the year. Bobby Wine, the third base coach, knows that Miguel Delaney doesn't have a very strong throwing arm. So he sent Horner all the way, and Bob's able to score standing.
Oh, Terry Harper, he continues that. He's going to play. A solid line drive off the left field wall. 2 runs are in. The Braves have opened it up 5-1. There must be something about Rick Mahler pitching that makes the Braves bats come awake. You see the manager, Buck Rogers, now leaving. And get a look at the end of that play again with Bobby Wine frantically waving Perry in. Pete?
Yeah, Delaney's one weakness. He's a good hitter. He has excellent speed. He's a good outfielder, but he can't throw at all. When you watch him throw, he'll put everything he's got into the throw. And he really only gets it to the shortstop. He did have a little trouble picking up that ball.
Well, Tim Burke is warming up, and while he does, we'll step out for this. At work Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, Jack Price and Paul Newberry. And a lot of his friends want to wish Big Al McCall the very best. He's from Stone Mountain, great Braves fan, and he's had a little bit of surgery up in Pittsburgh at Presbyterian University Hospital. Longtime employee of Coke. I want to wish Big Al all the best. Come back soon. Come out to the ballpark. Braves lead at 5-1. Here's Burke's first pitch, and Hubby takes it down low, ball 1. Curveball's in for a strike. A lot of pressure on this youngster, Pete, because Charlie Lee is due to come off the DL, and so is Gary Lucas. Someone would have to be sent down, obviously.
Yeah, this guy made the ball club by having a great spring. Pitched against the Braves several times.
The 1-1. Curveball bounced to short. Huey Brooks will throw at Hubby, but the Braves come up with 2 runs. 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 Expo error, and 1 left on. At the end of 5 innings of play, the Braves 5 and Montreal 1. Jazz will be on tonight. 4th game of that series. Denver leading 2-1. Utah will try to tie it up. How about Boston being beaten by Detroit today? And Detroit ties that series.
The Celtics have had a tough playoff, haven't they?
Boy.
Cleveland and Detroit both.
Andre Dawson leads off for the Expos in the 6th and takes it down low, ball 1. Rick Mahler. Some amazing story. Mahler leading here in the 6th. He would be 7-0. That is something. In fact, I tell you what we figured out last night. Dawson on the ground to Horner. The captain throws him out, 1 away. Now, if you laugh at this, I don't blame you, especially because it's my math. But if Mahler wins today, he would have won 7 games in the first 23. And based on that statistical performance, he only would win 49 games this year.
Have to pitch him in relief to get him 50.
Of course, he wouldn't own a right arm by the end of the year. But that's the good side. There is a bad side to all this. Danny Dreesen is up, and he rips one to deep center field, but Murph there. 2 away. Dreesen had homered for the Montreal run and then doubled to left, so the Braves finally got Dreesen out of there. Of course, that's one thing about Mahler winning all these games. Now the question is, when will there be a Braves starter other than Mahler to win a ball game?
Well, maybe Tuesday night in New York. Steve Bedrosian gets another start. He'll go against Ron Darling, first game of that series.
Then on Wednesday, it should be Ed Lynch for the Mets and Len Barker for the Braves. Huey Brooks is in with 2 away and no one on base. And the pitch down low, ball 1. I talk about the Celtics. They had a life and death struggle with Cleveland. They did win 3 games to 1, but they could have been beaten in any of the games. Brooks reaches out and lines it to right field. Now there's a great job of hitting. Hubie held the hands back on that slow changeup curve by Mahler. and finally released the hands and kind of plunked it, kind of served it into right field. That's a good job of hitting. He's on first with 2 outs for Tim Wallach.
Watch him just flick the wrists. That was a good pitch.
That was a good pitch, yeah. Oh, Hubie at first base with 2 outs, and here is Tim Eli Wallach. He's 1 for 2. Bruce Benedict makes a nice stop outside. Ball 1.
Got a youngster celebrating a birthday today. Trevor Kruger, 5 years old. He's in Moultrie, Georgia. That's Steve Rogers in the Montreal bullpen. Kind of an unusual sight.
Right in there for a strike, 1-1. Well, I think we all would be surprised in baseball if Steve Rogers was not dealt before June 15th, before the trade deadline. It seems he and the Expos have kind of agreed to disagree. The 1-1 changeup is pop foul, out of play. And when Charlie Lee comes off the DL, and it should be soon, the Expos will have 6 quality starting pitchers. Boy, I tell you, a lot of teams would like to be in their place.
I can name you one.
Yes. Yes. You could really, if you sat down, name about 20, actually. Only 26 major league teams. Yeah, it's a pretty good staff they have. A count at 1-2 on Wallach. UB Bricks at first, not being held on. Braves lead at 5-1 here in the top of the 6th. Pitch. Fastball up and in. Well, that pitching pattern hasn't changed for about 80 years. Up and in, low and away. Let's see if Mailer comes low and away. Looks like Bruce wants the hook. Actually, Mailer threw it on the inside part of the plate. The ball was down too low, and so the count goes full, 3-2. That's one reason for Mailer's success. He has as many kinds of pitches as you want. He will throw any of them 3-2. You have no idea what he's going to throw. Now, he does keep you off stride for the most part. Mailer did turn to throw, but Perry was not holding Brooks on, and Rick tossed it wide of the bag to Jarrell. Brooks off at first. He'll be running 3-2, 2 out. The curveball is cut on and foul tip. Bruce just couldn't hang on. That's all instinct and luck when you hang on to a foul tip. You can't see it. You have the glove there, and if it sticks, you're in good shape. Payoff pitch coming up. And it is looped to left field for a base hit. So Wallach got enough on the bat to loop it to left. Going around to third, UB Brooks running, of course, on the pitch. And the Expos have first and third, 2 outs for center fielder Herm Winningham. Tim Wallach is having some start. He had a 13-game hitting streak broken last night, and he's picked up today with 2 more hits. Winningham is 1 for 2. He's reached twice on an error and a single, but the last time up, he reached on a base hit, and Bruce Benedict gunned him out by near 10 feet going to second base. Bruce Benedict has thrown the ball better this year than I've ever seen him. 2 outs, runners at first and third. The pitch to Winningham is the fastball high outside, ball 1. Braves lead at 5-1 here in the 6th. UB Brooks at third, Tim Wallach at first base with the 2 men out. Mailer pulled the string, and Winningham way out in front. Mailer has had some base runners today. 4 men on in the second inning. 2 men on in the third. Man on in the fourth. Now 2 men on here in the 6th. 1-1. Fastball outside, 2-1.
Mailer pitching a game this afternoon very much like Bryn Smith pitched last night. He's had some base runners, a base hit here, a base hit there, keeping them scattered. Hasn't walked anybody except 1 hitter. And that's how you can give up a few hits and not give up many runs.
And Mailer does that. He has good control, and he'll give up some hits. Only one that hurt him today thus far, Danny Dreesen's home run. 1-1. Murph in center field. That will end the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. At the end of 5.5, it is 5-1 Braves.
Denver Nuggets and the Utah Jazz. Nuggets leading in that series 2-1. Tonight, 10:05 Eastern Time here on the Superstation. And update you on a couple of games in progress now. The Lakers leading Portland 30-23 at the end of the first quarter. Milwaukee trailing the Philadelphia 76ers 30-24 at the end of the first quarter. And it was Detroit over Boston 102-99 to even up that series at 2 games apiece.
And of course, for Milwaukee and Portland, it's either win today or turn out the lights, let the air out of the basketballs. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning here in Hotlanta, and the Braves lead it 5-1. Bruce Benedict leads off against right-handed reliever Tim Burke. That will stay in play, I believe. Dreesen at the edge couldn't get it. It just went over the railing in the Braves dugout.
He had enough room to catch that ball, but you're not quite sure where you are when you get over on that track, how close you are to that railing. Unless you can really get over there quick and stop, you don't generally make that play. If he'd been able to get to that railing and stop and plant those feet and know where he was, he would have caught that ball.
Oh, just a strike for Bruce. He has new life. 1 for 2 on the day with a base hit, and he also has scored a run. There's a liner to left, Delaney. He makes a tumbling catch. Well, Pete Van Wieren told you last inning that Delaney really is a good outfielder, just has no arm at all. He made a nice play.
These kind of balls are hard to catch because they're sinking. They're almost like a knuckleball out there. And Delaney with that sliding grab and hanging onto it while tumbling like that, which sometimes you can't always do.
Well, that's one away. He also made kind of a nice play to set himself up by sliding so he'd be down there to look at the ball. Mailer fouls it off, strike 1. Braves lead it 5-1. 5-7-1 for the Braves. A run, 7 hits, and 2 errors for the Expos. Mailer doesn't get the curveball. You know, Eddie Haas has changed his rotation a couple of times to keep Mailer on a 4-day schedule. The Mets used to do that with Tom Seaver. It's a great compliment to Rick. Curveball is outside, 1 and 2. And if you ask Mailer, well, do you want to pitch this much? The answer is yes. He wants to pitch all the time, but he really wants to pitch every 4th day. Well, you can't argue with the numbers. There's a strike 3. Burke strikes him out, 2-way.
Rick will go again on Friday now in Montreal. The Braves have an off day Thursday. And the interesting question right now on the Braves pitching staff is, with Pascual Perez now on the disabled list, Jeff Dedman, a relief pitcher, coming up from Richmond. We'll have Bedrosian Tuesday, Barker Wednesday, and off day Thursday, Mailer again Friday. I wonder who'll get the assignment Saturday. Will it be Craig McMurtry? Will it be Zane Smith? Who will it be?
Well, those are the 2 guys they'll choose from. Here's Claudel with 2 away. Might have a little bit to do, Pete, in Richmond. I guess they'll pitch McMurtry there for a while. He has pitched a bit better of late. Zane Smith has pitched well. May not want to take Zane Smith out of the bullpen. Pitch. Lined right at UB Brooks. A quick 1-2-3 inning for Tim Burke. And nothing across to the Braves. At the end of 6, Atlanta leads it 5-1. She works for TBS, too. I know Nikki when I see her. We go to the top of the 7th, and here's Pete.
Thank you, John. Fitzgerald leading it off, takes high and tight ball 1. Mike Fitzgerald has walked and struck out. We got a pinch hitter for Tim Burke next. And then Miguel Delaney. 5-1 Atlanta. 2-0. Here's the 2-0, and the fly ball will drop foul off to the right. Count 2-1. Looks like Tim Raines on deck now. He'll pinch hit for Tim Burke. The right-hander Steve Rogers. There's Raines. Right-hander Steve Rogers. Left-hander Dan Schatzeder. working in the bullpen for Montreal. There's the 2-1. The changeup is over. 2-2. Now the 2-2 pitch down low. Full count. 3-2. Paid attendance here this afternoon, 23,535. So the Braves and Expos drew just under 75,000 for this 3-game series. The payoff pitch fouled away. And the Braves remain well ahead of last year's attendance pace. Atlanta now has drawn about 275,000 for the first 12 home games of the season. Last year they were at 198. Again the 3-2, and he walked him. Only the second walk given up by Mailer. Fitzgerald's been the recipient both times. And now an unusual role for Tim Raines, coming on as a pinch hitter. Raines in a little bit of a slump, has averaged down to 256 with no homers and 5 RBIs. I don't even think he took batting practice today. Down on the field prior to the game, he was hitting ground balls to the infielders. Sometimes a manager will do that if a hitter's in a slump. Say, just take the day off. We might use you for a pinch hitter later in the day, but stop thinking about it. They will not hold Fitzgerald at first with a 4-run lead. And that's out of play. 0-1. So a good job for Tim Burke. He worked an inning and a third, gave up nothing, struck out 1. Here's the 0-1, fouled away again. Houston a winner behind Joe Niekro this afternoon. 4-3. They beat the Phillies. Now the 0-2 pitch. That just missed. 1-2. 5 runs, 7 hits for Atlanta. 1 run, 7 hits for Montreal. The Expos have made 2 errors. The Braves 1. We're in the top of the 7th. And now the 1-2. He got him inside corner with a fastball. Mailer records his second strikeout, 1 away in the top half of inning 7. And we'll go back to the top of the order now. Miguel Delaney, who was grounded out to second, hit into a 3-6 force play and grounded out to third. Braves trying to pull back to within 1 game of 500 in what has been a very tight National League West race. No team started off the day better than 2 games over. Only a 2-game difference from first place to 5th place. 0-1 on Delaney. You get the feeling if anybody in the division could reel off 4 or 5 wins in a row, they'd have themselves a little bit of a margin. But nobody's been able to do that so far. Here's the 0-1. That missed. 1-1. Pitching coach Johnny Sain, who helped turn Rick Mailer around in the minor leagues. And then Rick will tell you Bob Gibson improved his game last year at the major league level. That is Perry going to second in time. Ramirez to Mailer covering, not in time.
That's the second time that Gerald Perry has made a play like that on Delaney, who has great speed. The first time, Perry really took a base hit away because Delaney would not have been caught at first base. He beats the throwback easily, but Perry makes the smart play and gets the lead runner.
So 2 gone now with DeLaunay at first. Here's UL Washington. He's 1 for 3. He's bounced to the pitcher, singled, and fly to center. He's had a good series, 5 for 13 in this series, with 5 of those 6 RBIs on the season coming this weekend. Good stop by Benedict. The fans give him a hand for it. That's something a catcher doesn't very often hear. An outfielder can make a great diving catch. An infielder can make a great diving stop, and they'll get a standing ovation. Catcher makes a play like that behind the plate, and very seldom hears much from the fans. 2-0 the count.
That's really true. You know, the catcher is kind of like an offensive lineman. The only time anyone ever notices him is when he doesn't do his job, when a ball gets past him. Like when a quarterback gets sacked, then you know, oh yeah, that tackle didn't.
That's a strike, 2-1. Terry Forster working in the Atlanta bullpen now. If we get into the 8th inning, we might see Bruce Sutter up out there. Fans have a wave going again. And we await the 2-1 pitch to Washington. The runner is going. It's hit hard to center field. Murphy going back. He'll grab it, and the inning's over. So Mailer breezes through the 7th. No runs or hits. There was a walk. 1 man left. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. It's Atlanta 5, Montreal 1. Working in relief. He has pitched 5 games this year. They've all been starts, and he has a complete game to his credit. A 2-2 record, a 3.45 earned run average. We've told you the story on him. The Expos want to trade him. They had a deal worked out with Houston pending Rogers' approval, which he did not give after mulling it over for several days. But with Charlie Lee being close to being ready to come off the disabled list, you can bet the Expos are still trying to move Steve Rogers. 0-1 on Rafael Ramirez, who was fouled out, doubled, and grounded out. He drove in a run with that double in the 2nd.
And I'm sure the Expos would like to deal him to a team out of their division, either the West in the National League, or maybe make one of those waiver trades with the American League.
Now it's 0-2. Rogers had an off year last year. He was bothered by some physical problems. Pitched very well this spring. Off to not too bad a start this year. Last year he was only 6-15. UL Washington on to first, 1 down. When you look at Steve Rogers' record prior to last year, he won 17 games in '83, 19 in '82. In the strike season of '81, he won 12. The year before that, 16. Won better than 10 games a year for 7 straight seasons. Perry's 2 for 3 in the ball game. Outside, ball 1. He is singled, doubled, and flied out. Left-hander Dan Schatzeder still working in the Montreal bullpen. And a 1-0 pitch. Misses. 2-0. Now the 2-0 on the way, and that caught the inside corner. Throughout Rogers' career, he's been tough on the Braves. Lifetime 12-9 against Atlanta. At one point, he had something like a 2-year stretch of complete games against the Braves. Every time he faced them, he went the distance and beat them. 2-2 on Gerald Perry. And the 2-2 coming. Changeup missed. 3-2. And he walked him. That off-speed pitch not working for Rogers against Gerald Perry. That's the first walk off Rogers. Walk number 4 issued by Montreal pitching. It'll bring up Mr. Murphy, who has singled, walked, and flied to left. Atlanta leading it, bottom half of the 7th. Murph about due to launch one. Murphy hitting .333 lifetime against Rogers. Takes inside, ball 1. That's the highest batting average of any Brave against the Montreal right-hander. Rogers now 35 years old. Here's the 1-0. In for a strike, 1-1.
Here is a note handed to me which is not good news. Phil Niekro had to leave the game in New York in the 8th inning due to an injury to his pitching arm. Ooh, we'll have to find out a lot more about that.
Perry back safely.
He is winning the game, by the way, 5-2. Anyway, that was 5-2 at the end of 7. But hopefully Knucksy will be okay.
Runner going on the 1-1. Murphy pops it high in the air, and I mean high in the air. Second baseman U.L. Washington and first baseman Dan Dreesen collide. Dreesen makes the catch. U.L. Washington must feel like a fullback. He was run into by Gerald Perry, first of all, while going for the ball, then bowled over by Dan Dreesen. And there are no flags on the play.
Here's the bump. Great camera work by TBS. Perry trying to get back to first base. And he smacked into UL. Now Dreesen will come over and bang into him. UL got up laughing, so everything is okay. Ron Sutton was the cameraman who took that great shot. Way to go, Ron. But poor UL, he tries to catch a pop-up, gets knocked down twice on the same play.
2 men gone now. Perry back to first, and Bob Horner, the hitter. He's walked twice and hit into a 5-4-3 double play. Wallach off his glove into left field. That'll be a base hit for Horner. Perry slipped and fell around the bag at second, but he's able to get back on his feet and scamper back.
That has to be a base hit. Horner is really cracking the ball hard. Wallach makes a diving try, but just off the fingertips of his glove. And so for Horns, a base hit. He's had 2 walks today, and here comes Terry Harper once again with men on base, and he's delivered twice with men on base today.
And both times he's delivered with 2 men out. We're getting a pinch runner at first base, Paul Zuvella. Entering the ball game, running for Bob Horner. So put Zuvella on your scorecard, running for Horner. And here's Terry Harper. He had a 2-out single in the first inning, driving in a run. He was hit by a pitch in the 3rd, had a 2-out double in the 5th inning, driving in 2. He's been the Braves' offensive hero today. And he bats with 2 outs, runners first and second. 8 hits in the game now for the Braves. Harper now with 10 RBIs in the year. Didn't mean to. 1-1. Terry Harper played 40 games for the Braves last year, drove in 8 runs. So his bat quite a bit more effective this season than it was last. Here's the 1-1. Popped him up, shallow left field. Shortstop Hubie Brooks has it to end the inning. So the Braves pick up a hit. They also were issued a walk from Steve Rogers, but he pitched out of the jam. 2 runners left. We go to the 8th inning. It's the Braves 5, Montreal 1.
Cardinal pitching that game for the Giants. Chicago, San Diego held up by rain. And Joe Niekro won that ball game for the Houston Astros today. In the American League, Phil Niekro will win it if the Yanks hold their lead. Knucksy had to leave with an arm injury in the 8th. Those games, of course, just starting out on the West Coast. And there it is, your Red Man scoreboard.
And here's Andre Dawson leading off the 8th against Rick Mailer. Andre today is grounded to third 3 times. In the third, it was a 5-4-3 double play. Atlanta with a 5-1 lead. That evens the count 1-1. In case you joined us late, the Braves made a roster move today. Pascual Perez placed on the 15-day disabled list with tendonitis of the right shoulder. Jeff Dedmon has been recalled from Richmond. He'll join the club tomorrow night in Richmond. Mailer on to Perry, 1 down. That'll bring up Dan Dreesen, who has homered, doubled, and flied to center. Dan with 2 home runs in this series, 4 on the season already.
And while we have a moment, want to pass along happy birthday greetings to Don Johnson, who is studio director for the Braves back at TBS. Don Johnson is 30 years old today. Never trust a man over 12.
Mailer's first pitch to Dreesen caught the corner.
Of course, those guys now are way over 30 themselves. What did that? Don Johnson doesn't know about that. He's too young.
The curve, slow curve, hit by Perry this time into right field. So Dan Dreesen got one by his nephew there. And he is 3 for 4 on the afternoon. That's hit number 8 for Montreal. It'll bring up Hubie Brooks, who has bounced to third, line to the pitcher, and singled. And Bruce Sutter gets up now in the Atlanta bullpen. There's Mr. Sutter. He hasn't pitched in a while. 1 ball, no strikes. Of course, the Braves haven't been ahead in a game like this in a while either. Might be 2. Zavella to Hubbard to Perry. Inning over. Another easy one for Rick Mailer. He pitches around the base hit. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. It's still the Braves 5 and the Expos 1. Bullpen, Mailer due up third in the inning, so we may see a pinch hitter here. Give Bruce an inning of work. He has not pitched in a ball game since Tuesday. And with an exhibition game coming up tomorrow night in Richmond, they would want Bruce Sutter to get some work. So Rick Mailer is probably through for the day, and he's in outstanding shape to win his 7th consecutive game of the year. Another fine outing by Rick Mailer. Glenn Hubbard 0 for 2. He's popped to first and grounded to short, facing Steve Rogers for the first time. Takes a strike. Now the 0-1. Foul back. Rogers with an excellent slider. When he's right, he'll get a lot of strikeouts and a lot of ground balls with that pitch. There was a slow curve tapped toward third. Wallach charging. His throw on to first. Going to be close. He got there safely. That'll be an infield hit for Glenn Hubbard.
Tim Wallach has only one play to make. That's grab it and throw in the same motion. He couldn't get anything on it, and Hubby just beats the throw. Wallach's a pretty good third baseman. He just couldn't make that play. The guy who could make that play better than any I've ever seen, Brooks Robinson of the Orioles, who normally would grab the ball barehand and throw in the same motion.
Greg Nettles pretty good at that play,
Yes,
too.
Sir.
Here's Bruce Benedict. He's 1 for 3, a single and a couple of fly balls to left. Gets the bunt down. It's a good one. Dan Dreesen reaching out, missed him, throws to first, safe. Dan Dreesen missed Bruce Benedict going by. And by then it was too late to get the throw to Washington.
Well, Danny Dreesen misses the tag. It's the first play that Bruce Benedict will ever beat out, and he's going to get kidded plenty. Dreesen missed him, and then the throw is kind of high. Had no angle for the throw. And you don't suppose that's going to be brought up more than 300 or 400 times in the Braves clubhouse in Kangaroo Court.
That dazzling speed of Bruce Benedict. We'll see how they score that. They have not given an official ruling on it yet. Chris Chambliss will bat for Rick Mahler, as we anticipated. Chris batting .224 on the year. No homers, 5 RBIs, 0 for 3 as a pinch hitter. Still no official ruling from the official score. There's a drive into left field, base hit. Hubbard will have to stop at third. They're loaded for the top of the order, Claudell Washington.
Chambliss buzzes the single to left and hits it so hard, even though DeLaunay can't throw at all. Bobby Wine had to hold Hubbard up, and of course also there's no outs. Watch DeLaunay put, well, we see the fumble and we won't see the throw, but bases are loaded. Chambliss at first base, Benedict at second, and Glenn Hubbard at third, and here's Claudell.
Now they have given Bruce Benedict a bunt single, so 3 singles in the inning now. 11 hits altogether for the Braves. The infield up for Montreal. Washington looking for his first hit. Twice he has flied to left. He has also struck out and lined to short. Braves trying to break it open here. Little topper. This should get the run in. Rogers' only play will be to first in time. RBI for Washington, his 9th of the year at 6-1. The other runners move to second and third.
Now, while Rafael Ramirez comes up, that's why you have to look at stats and maybe look beneath the stats or around the statistic. For example, at the end of the year, you say, well, Mahler only completed a low percentage of games. Rick Mahler has come out of games in the 8th and 9th innings this year, really to give Bruce Sutter some work.
Here's Ramirez, 1 for 4. He drove in a run with a double in the second. Infield remaining in with Chambliss now at second. Benedict over at third. 1 man out. Down the right side, foul, out of play. Six runs, 11 hits now for Atlanta. There's the 0-1. Down that third baseline, but foul. 0-2. Career RBI number 600 for Claudell Washington. And the 0-2 pitch. Bouncing ball. Shortstop Brooks has it. He'll hold the runners. Throw on to first in time. So now if the Braves are to do any more damage here in the 8th inning, it'll take a 2-out hit from Gerald Perry, who has 2 hits and 3 at-bats, a double, a single. He's flied out and walked. Rogers deals and misses outside. If he gets out of this inning with only 1 run scoring, that's a pretty good job of pitching. He had a bases loaded, nobody out situation. 1 run is scored, but now there are 2 outs. Here's the 1-0. That missed outside. Bruce Benedict, the runner at third. Chris Chambliss at second. And the 2-0 pitch to Perry. That missed. It's 3-0. One more bad one. They'll be loaded for Murphy. That's a called strike. 3-1. Here's where Perry can really look for a pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. the 3-1. Back to the mound. Rogers is out of it. First baseman Dan Dreesen takes the underhand toss, and Rogers got out of that in good shape. The Braves pick up 1 run. On 3 hits, they leave 2. We go to the 9th. It's Atlanta 6, Montreal 1. And if Suter is able to close the door here in the 9th inning today, he will have been the door closer in 10 of the 11 Atlanta victories. He's not eligible for a save right here. The lead is too big, a 5-run Atlanta lead. Another tip of the hat to Rick Mailer. 8 innings of work today. He allowed 8 hits, scattered them well, gave up only 1 run. That homer by Dreesen. Tim Wallach has singled twice and flying to center. And the count 2-0. 1 run, 8 hits allowed by Mailer. He walked 2. He struck out 2. And if Bruce Suter can get him out here in the 9th, Rick Mailer will be 7-0. Here's the 2-0 over for a strike. 2-1. Suter has not pitched since Tuesday. He would like to work ideally every other day. Doesn't very often work out that way, though. That ball pretty well hit. Terry Harper battled it a little bit, but stayed with it and made the catch. Wallach can't believe that one. He waves his hat in disgust. He thought he had his 3rd hit of the day. Terry Harper battling the sun out there, and the ball kind of knuckled on him, but he stayed with it, made the catch. You don't always have to look pretty doing it, as long as you get the job done. And there's Rick Mailer, who's got to be feeling on top of the world. Can you imagine the 5th of May and you're about to go 7-0? Winningham fouls off the first pitch. 0-1. He's reached on an error, singled, and fly to center. Andy Hawkins of San Diego has won 5 games, and that right now is 2nd to Rick Mailer in the league. Over in the American League, the top winners, well, there are only 3 pitchers in the American League who have won 4 games. Doyle Alexander of Toronto, Dan Petrie of Detroit, and Frank Viola of Minnesota. Hubbard on to Perry, 2 down. And it's all up to Mike Fitzgerald, who has walked twice and struck out. Well, the Braves will be breathing a little bit easier after this one, providing they can hang on and win it. They did not play well last night or on Friday night. Fitzgerald takes a strike. 0-1. Every time you play a couple of games in a row back-to-back like the Braves did, you get to wondering if you're ever going to win one again, even though it was only a 2-game skid. 1 ball, 1 strike. Terry Francona waiting on deck. Here's the 1-1. Missing inside. 2-1. National League final now. San Francisco blanks St. Louis. Dave LaPointe shutting out his former teammates. 5-0 was the final. 6-hitter for LaPointe. Here's the 2-1. Bounce to the mound. This will do it. Bruce Suter on to Gerald Perry, and the Braves have won it by a final score of 6-1 as Rick Mailer and Bruce Suter combine to do it again. Final score, 6-1 Atlanta. Back with the totals and some highlights right after this. To leave the game because of a bruise on the heel of his right hand, was taken to the hospital for x-rays. He's back now. The x-ray's negative. It's just a bruise, and Obi will be back in action very soon. 6 runs, 11 hits, 1 error, 9 left for Atlanta. 1 run, 8 hits, 2 errors, 7 left for Montreal. Rick Mailer gets the win. He is now 7-0 on the year. And the loser, Bill Gullickson, he's 3-3. Let's go to the highlight, show you how the Braves scored some of those runs. With Gerald Perry at second base in the first inning, Dale Murphy gets a base hit off the glove of Tim Wallach. Wallach's bad throw allows Perry to score to make it 1-0 Atlanta. After a walk to Bob Horner, Terry Harper comes to the plate and drives in the first of 3 runs he drove in today as Murphy scores to make it 2-0 Atlanta. Montreal got a run in the second. Then with Benedict on second in the bottom of the second, Rafael Ramirez doubles down the left field line. Bruce scores, and the Braves have a 3-1 lead. In the 5th inning, that's A ball getting away from DeLaunay, allowing Perry to score. Terry Harper driving in 2 more runs. Bob Horner coming around. Harper now with 10 RBIs in the season. And Claudell Washington, not the prettiest RBI in the world, but he'll take it. It's the 600th of his career. Driving home Glenn Hubbard in the bottom half of the 8th inning to give the Braves their 6th run of the season, or the game rather. 6 runs, 11 hits for Atlanta, 1 run, 8 hits Montreal. Braves now 11-12 on the season. Montreal goes to 15-9. All you fans up in the Richmond area, Braves will be looking for you tomorrow night at the brand new ballpark, the Diamond. Game time is 7 o'clock. We won't be televising that one. We will be back with you Tuesday night from Shea Stadium in New York. Game time 7:35 Eastern time. It'll be Steve Bedrosian against Ron Darling. Until then, for John Sterling, Skip Carey, Ernie Johnson, our entire TBS crew, Pete Van Wieren from the stadium in Atlanta, where the final score was the Braves 6, Montreal 1. So long, everyone.